Take a look at the second part, which is graphing equations.
Alright, so that's how you write equations. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to graph them. The easiest way to graph is always have it in the form of y equals mx plus b. It is by far the easiest way to graph. So if I can rewrite whatever problem they give me in y equals mx plus b, then I can graph it really easily. Alright, so now we're going to focus on the graphing of these four situations. So if you're given a slope and a y-intercept, if you're given standard form, if you're given a point and a slope, if you're given 2 points. So we're going to do the same questions, we're just going to graph them as well.
This is a listening check. Underline the word graph under the title I can graph linear equations given, right at the top of the left-hand side.
Alright, so I can write graph linear equations given a slope and a y-intercept. That's by far the easiest. First thing you're going to do is write down the y-intercept and the slope. So the y-intercept is -3, the slope is 1 over 3. Then it says always start at the y-intercept, so we're going to start at -3. So I'm actually going to put a point down at -3. Right, so where the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis at -3, put a point at -3. Alright, then do rise over run. So go ahead and write rise over run. And then we're going to write our slope out so that you can see what we're rising and running. So rise over run and our slope, which is 1 over 3. So we're going to rise +1 and then we're going to run +3. So we're going to start at the y-intercept, which is -3, and we're going to go up 1 and right 3. So all you're going to do is start at the point -3, go up 1 and right 3. 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 Okay, and you can go on forever, but really all you need is 2 points and then just join it with a ruler, but I'm just showing you just so you can get used to it. Alright, so take a ruler and you're going to join your points. So you only need the y-intercept and 1 more point, but I just did a few just for you to understand it. Alright, and that's how you graph it. So the easiest way to graph is to get it into y equals mx plus b, because it's just so simple.
This is a listening check. Circle 1.
Alright, so graphing equations in standard form. Okay, so I can graph linear equations given standard form. It's really simple. Again, easiest thing to do is get it into y equals mx plus b form. So y equals 2x minus 7 in this case. So first write it in that form and then follow the steps for graphing like we just did in the previous example. What steps are those? You write down the y-intercept and the slope. You always start from the y-intercept, then you do rise over run. So that's what we're going to do. So first I need to know what slope is. M is equal to 2 and B is equal to, or the y-intercept is equal to -7. Alright, so I made a mistake earlier, so I kind of fast forwarded through this. So again, you start by plotting the y-intercept, which is -7, and then slope is equal to 2. So I made a mistake and read it -2, so just ignore that -2 because I'm going to fix it in just a second. So y equals 2x, so slope is 2, y-intercept is -7. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that. M is 2, y-intercept is -7, so you do rise over run, so you're rising +2 because it's positive, so +2. And then because there's nothing underneath that, you can put an invisible 1 because 2 divided by 1 is 2. So we're going to rise +2 +1. So we're going to go up 2 and to the right 1, starting from -7.
The listening check, coloring 2 over 1.
So -7, we're going to go up 2 boxes and to the right 1. Up 2, 1, 2 to the right 1. Up 2, 1, 2 to the right 1. Up 2, 1, 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Up 2 to the right 1. Basically, we can go on forever. We really don't even need to plot all these points. You can do 2 like I said earlier and then join the line. I just do it so that you can see, we can understand what I'm doing. Okay, so you just need 2 points in order to join the line. And that's how you graph it. Up 2 over 1. So you see, it doesn't matter where you start, it's always going to be up 2 over 1 because that is the Alright, looking at the next one, I can graph linear equations given a point and a slope. Alright, so the first way is like we've been doing it before, getting into y equals mx plus b and then follow the steps for graphing. But I am going to show you, so there's y equals mx plus b, so y equals -2 is the slope, m is the slope, -2, and the y-intercept is +6. M is -2, so do rise over run, you're going to do -2 over +1, and the y-intercept is +6. So you start at plus 6 and then you go minus 2, or you just write rise over run, minus 2 over positive 1. So you're going to go down 2 to the right 1. Start at 6, going down 2 to the right 1. Or, okay, so let me show you the second way because we've done 2 examples of the first way. Start at the given point, negative 1, 8. Alright, so they give you this point, negative 1, 8. So instead of even finding out what the y-intercept is, just start at the point they give you, negative 1, 8. Write down the slope, which is rise over run, because they give you the slope, right? They give you the slope is negative 2. So we're going to write rise over run, which is equal to negative 2 and invisible positive 1. So instead of starting the y-intercept, you actually just start at the slope and do rise over run and use a roulette point. So plot the point negative 1, 8. Okay, so negative 1, 8, you start at 0, go to left 1 and up 8. So that's the point negative 1, 8. And then you do rise over run starting at that point. So you don't always have to do it at the y-intercept. So we're going to go down 2 to the right 1, 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 down 2 to the right 1. And then you're just going to use a roulette to draw the point. So you could start at the y-intercept like we've been doing in previous examples. On this one, it might just be fast to start the point they give you because they would give you the point and the slope. So you wouldn't have to find what y equals mx plus b is in this situation. Okay. But you could still do it that way if you like. Alright, then graph linear equations given 2 points. Now again, you could write it in the y-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where you're given the slope and the y-intercept, and then you can graph the y-intercept and then do rise over run.
This is a listening check. Circle and color in the word or right underneath my fingers.
Start at negative 2, and then rise over run would be 2, positive 2 over positive 1, so you'd be going up 2 to the right 1. So you start negative 2 going up 2 to the right 2. Or, even simpler, just plot the 2 points and extend the line, because they just give you 2 points. They say that the graph is going to go to those 2 points. So plot those 2 points. So I'm just going to write down what those 2 points are. 3 and 4 and 5 and 8. So you're just going to plot those 2 points. So 3 and 4, 3 and 4, and 5, 8, 5, 8. And then use a ruler to join those 2 points.
This is a listening check. Put a box around second way on the bottom right hand screen.
Now we can actually check this line using the y equals mx plus b, because remember I said that the y-intercept was going to be negative 2 if we had used y equals. Look at that, y-intercept is negative 2. That's great. And if I wanted to, I could check the slope would be plus 2 over 1.
Put down your ass, change, you going down to the river. Yeah.